Hi everybody, this is Julian Bryan here. Today we're going to talk about math as a language. For me personally, I have multilingual heritage, so I tend to favor math a whole lot less. However, when I actually came to the United States and started learning more math, I actually realized that if I were to actually approach it as a language, it makes a whole lot more sense to me. What do you think, Brian?
Yeah, I think that language people tend to hate math. And by the same token, math people like myself forget that I am speaking a language and I better have things in the correct order if I'm going to make any real progress.
That's true. Okay, how about let's break it down to a nucleus level. What I have in this picture is that the symbol of this, how would you pronounce that, Brian?
Pronounce it two.
Okay, 2, that's English. If I were to say that math is actually pictorial in a symbol, there's an equivalence to that in English, in actually Japanese as well.
So that's not an equal sign.
No, it's not. Nice try, honey, but it's actually in Japanese, this is actually called ni. These two lines form the symbol just like this scribbled thing that has the straight base at the bottom, means 2. Now, they are actually different from alphabetical languages like English that you are speaking right now because you actually have a lot of smaller symbols like t, w that are consonants, and then that is vowel. All three symbols together makes the word two, and it makes actually the same meaning as the other two here.
Well, this symbol right here has to be drawn as you've drawn it in order to mean two. Just like this set of 3 letters has to be in this proper order. Begins with T, middle W, and ends with O in order to mean two.
That's correct.
Okay.
Now we got that nucleus level. Let's put it in the sentence, okay? So in this picture, if you actually talk about the language, this is actually a sentence, a very long compound sentence. So could you read it to me?
All right, this is 2 different ways of using passive voice. You've got 4 is divided by 8 equal to a half. And that's not the same as 8 is divided by 4 equal to 2, which means the inverse.
Okay, I like the way that you say inverse and languages because in linguistics, part of it, we have voices. So we have passive voice and active voice. Passive is just like what you would have said it. 4 is divided by 8.
And because you're using passive voice, you've got the object at the beginning, and then you've got the true subject at the very end, even though the verb always stays in the middle.
Right, but the form of the verb is different so that now you understand and you know that actually is a passive. So now the form, the inverse form of that is an active voice, I would have said 8 divides 4.
And you change the verb here. You change the verb, but you've got the same subject in the beginning, though, and the same object, which is in a different place.
That is correct. Now, if you actually look at this, I believe that they only represent the first portion of the compound sentence in math, correct?
Okay, both of those English statements result in half.
Okay, so it would not have been this. So now you can say that 8 is divided by 4, rather. And then it means that 4 divides 8 in this sense.
Yeah.
Okay, and it actually gets 2 instead of half.
4 divides 8 is going to give you 2.
That's right. Now, although you have that, in a normal English, I'm writing it out here, I am hired by you. That's a passive voice because you is the subject, the hiring manager, and I is actually the employee being hired.
The object.
And the inverse of that is you hire me. Use the subject, active verb, and then me is the object. So both of these mean the same thing. Now, because it is a normal English, it's interchangeable. But what I'm hearing from you is that this actually is more favorable than this. Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay. Here's my proof right here that if you were to approach math as a language, you can actually make sense out of it. Would you agree?
That's right. If you use structure the right way, if you've got things in the right order, only then can you make sense out of it.
There you have it.